Hi everyone and welcome back to Chess for Charity. In this video, I'm going to show you a cool puzzle where it's black to play and maybe win, maybe draw. That's what you have to figure out. So find the best move for black, in other words. Right now, white is attacking and threatening mate on g7, so you better find something to do. The first couple moves might be obvious. We have some checks, but I'll let you see if you can calculate out whether or not white can escape or if it's going to be a draw or a win. So think about that for a second, see if you can come up with the right answer. While you're considering the solution, let me quickly ask you to subscribe if you have not yet already. Half of the income I earn in this channel goes directly to charity, so every like, every subscriber helps us out so much. Okay, so I've been a bit cryptic about whether it's black to win or black to draw. I will tell you now, it is black to win. So how? You definitely have to do something with these rooks. I think the first move is kind of obvious. You have to check. But again, see how far you can figure this out. Don't just rely on the checks and see what happens. See if you can calculate out what happens after this kind of stuff. So the first move is you check them. Great. We kind of already knew that. They come up the board, right? Do you check this way? Do you check that way? Something else? Nothing else makes any sense because you're going to get mated. You can't block this, by the way, because the pawn is there. So what do? You take the rook on f8 and you check. And my concern is what's going to happen when the king runs through the light squares and finds some safety. Is that going to be a problem? See if you can find the answer here. So they run away. Great. Rook h1 check. So, they're very limited. All this is taken. So they have only one square, which is g4. What do you play in this position? This is maybe your first real pop quiz because the other ones maybe seemed obvious. Do you play h5? Do you play check? Do you play check? Any other move? Right, remember you can't make a bishop move really because mate is hanging. What would you do? If you play h5, that's a blunder. They can take this and you're kind of, you don't have a discovered check really. Like, you have it, but there's nothing you can do with it. So you can play bishop g3, and cool variation here, cool side note, if they take this, they actually are losing. And there's a cool variation to show that. Maybe something like this, bishop f4, and if they run, I don't know, anywhere really, you can do this, check, guard these squares, the king has to run, check, and mate. This is held together. Got that big triangle. So just as a side note, they can't take that pawn. So the best move rather in that position is this, right? And they're fine. They're threatening a lot of mates. So all that is to say that h5 is a blunder. You could win if they mess up, but with best play, it's a blunder. I mentioned this is another check option, but not really going to do anything. After king h5, you're out of checks, and there's a lot of scary stuff happening. That one hopefully is a little bit easier to see. So the correct answer is rook f4 check. Now you're pushing the king again to the h-file. Great. But this is a little scary now, because this pawn is going to hang if you move this bishop anywhere. So what do? Well, you move that bishop somewhere. Bishop g3 is the only place. Why? Because it defends this rook. You let them take you. Do you see the answer from here? Right? This is like a long mate. So see if you can find every move along the way. See if you can find the sequence after. The move is h6. Right? This king started all the way over here, and now they're coming down the board. King g6. What do? Only one sensible move here. Rook g4. Keep the checks going. Keep them alive. Now you have a couple of options if you're white. You have king f5. You have king f6. Those are the two. They're pretty much the same, so I'm just going to show the concept. King f5. Rook g5 check. This square is covered by the pawn. Very important note. These squares are already covered, so it's going to kind of be the same. Rook f1. Look at this sequence. King has to run away. Rook g7 check. This square is covered by this bishop. Come on, look at the harmony of these pieces. King e8 and rook f8 is mate. So this sequence from the very beginning, from here, is black to play and mate in 11 moves. The question is, did you find it? It's a lot of ways to go wrong, but it's also mostly forced. So you have to just make sure you're finding the right moves all the way through. Check, check. They're all checks. I think this move is a little hard to spot, maybe, right? Maybe in my eyes, once you see this pawn drop, you might get a little nervous. But you notice this follow-up check, maybe that helps. Check. And I love the way this ended. Look at how the king arrives on, what was it, the e1 square? Yeah, or e8 square. Look at that. Double rook mate. It ended on e8. It started on g1. Isn't that quite a journey? So hopefully you enjoyed that. Mate in 11. Even though white had their forces concentrated on g7, it was not enough. Crazy, crazy puzzle. Hopefully you enjoyed, got something out of it, enjoyed it, laughed, who knows. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.